For the second video in my How to Drop series, I'm going to be going in depth on how to land and loot Slurpy Swamp in all game modes. I'm continuing this series until I cover all drop spots, and I will base the order off of the comments, so be sure to comment what drop spots you guys want next. You can also vote in my community tab with the poll that I paste after every video. But this video is going to be on Slurpy Swamp, which is arguably one of the best drop spots right now for all game modes. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video so that you guys do not miss any important information. If you want to support me, use code SonataFN in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. And if you do stay until the end, feel free to leave a comment letting me know. So this entire guide is going to be assuming that you or your team are contested at Slurpy. When you're landing at Slurpy Swamp, I would recommend that you try to land at the 3 buildings towards the east side. At the east side of Slurpy, there will definitely be 6 chests that can spawn for you or your team. Most of the time, just like my previous video of Steamy Stacks, Slurpy Swamp is going to be having a massive fight over at the main building. However, because Slurpy has no natural rotation, you will just have to walk over to the fight once it is done. But the good thing about Slurpy is its geography. If you don't want to get involved in that fight, you can easily rotate out through the backside or into Weeping Woods. At Slurpy Swamp, Big Chuggus, which is the NPC, does spawn, and you can place a bounty and potentially upgrade weapons with this NPC. This NPC can be found right here. In terms of health and shield in Slurpy Swamp, you can easily heal from all of the slurp kegs and the healing river that's surrounding the area. One of the best parts about Slurpy Swamp is that it has free shield no matter what. It's one of the few drop spots that can 100% guarantee you leaving with full health and full shield no matter what. Also, farming most of these slurp kegs will give you a lot of metal, and you guys will pretty much be set on metal the entire time. And around Slurpy Swamp, there's a bunch of stones and trees so that you can get natural brick and wood. Lastly, for how to land in Slurpy Swamp, you should master your drop. I would recommend going into Battle Lab and practicing jumping from the bus at various locations and then gliding over to Slurpy to master your drop. But you may be asking, what if you're contested and you land main by accident? Well, my recommendation would be try to loot as much of main as you possibly can, then go over to the Hydro Dam or deeper into Weeping Woods area. The main building of Slurpy is not a great place to fight due to its layout and its meds. The building just does not have sufficient meds for everybody landing there. So if I were you, I would plan to rotate out ASAP when your team is contested. The reason I would recommend this is because most of the time there's going to be somebody landing at the back of Slurpy Swamp and somebody also landing at main, so you don't want to get caught in between the fight between those two teams. Instead, you want to try to get away as fast as possible, because if you do get in a fight with one of those teams, then the other will most likely third party you. The other strategy that I would recommend if you are contested off spawn in Slurpy Swamp is to never take 50-50s. I've done a lot of in-depth guides on why not to go for 50-50s, but the main reason is because it has a lot of RNG and you can very easily lose. Rather, I would recommend finding a floor loot spawn or a guaranteed chest that you can always land on and get a consistent weapon from. Also, make sure that if you're in a team game mode, you and your team are landing together. If you land together, the chance of you guys getting beamed or third partied is way less if you wouldn't be together. Please make sure that you and your teammates are also on the same page. For example, if one of you decides to run away and Slurpy is contested, the other 2 should come with you. Overall, I would recommend that you try to use Slurpy Swamp's geography and escape paths to your advantage. With shockwave grenades and riftfish being vaulted, this final section is going to be on how to rotate to zone from Slurpy. Because Slurpy is closer to the corner of the map, a lot of times zone will pull away from it. What you can do is rotate through Weeping or use one of the many cars that spawns in Slurpy. Easily the best rotation this season would be getting a truck after the recent buffs that make them able to scale mountains. There is also a gas station to fuel up if you need it. Another thing you want to make sure of is if that zone pulls towards Coral Castle or Stealthy Stronghold area, what you can do is wrap the side of the island. A lot of players that I review are very scared of the storm. One thing that you want to make sure is that you're never scared of the storm. The storm only damages for 1 health per second for the first 2 zones, so you and your team can very easily wrap the entire side of the island within less than 2 minutes in a boat. Wrapping the side of the island will also help you fish easier, and you can collect shieldfish and floppers, which will really be useful when it comes to mid and late game. Overall, I would just recommend to not be scared of the zone and also use rotation items like cars in Slurpy Swamp. Anyways guys, that is the video on how to loot and rotate from Slurpy Swamp. If you did find it helpful, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel for more educational content. If you guys are interested in checking out my Twitch, Twitter, or Discord server, there is a link in the description for all 3 of those things. If you like this type of content, be sure to leave a comment letting me know that it helped you out. Also, don't forget to leave a comment on what named drop spot you would like to see next. You can also vote in my community tab with the poll that I'm going to be putting up very soon. But that's about it for this video guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.